Right Honorable Speaker Alban Sumana, Kingsford, Bagby, the Honorable Deputy Speakers, Honorable colleague, Members of Parliament, representing the 276 constituencies presently constituting the House, the Clerk of Parliament, and the parliamentary staff. By the grace of the Almighty, we're all here, and you are welcome back to this House for the third meeting of the first session of the 9th Parliament. We have been duly summoned back by our most able Right Honorable Speaker, who remains a pillar of parliamentary democracy in the annals of our democracy's history. We continue to thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your continued defense of the independence and autonomy of this House as a coordinate branch of government. I begin on a very solemn note. We must start by remembering our colleagues who died in that tragic helicopter crash of the 6th of August 2025. The Right Honorable Speaker has already mentioned their names, but suffice it to add that two were particularly close to us. The Honorable Dr. Edward Kofi Omane-Boama, a non-voting member of this House and the then Minister for Defense, and Honorable Alhaji Dr. Murtala Ibrahim, the then Member of Parliament for Tamale Central and Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. The other distinguished Ghanaians who perished in the fatal accident have all been mentioned, and I will urge colleagues to remember them in their prayers. And on behalf of colleagues in this House, let me extend our condolences to the families of the bereaved and urge all of us to support the efforts to maintain their children. A minute of silence has already been observed in remembrance of our colleagues. Let me thank this House for that. Right Honorable Speaker, this loss occasioned a by-election in the Tamale South, and in addition to an earlier loss of our colleague, which also occasioned another by-election in Akwatia. Mr. Speaker, in the two by-elections, the National Democratic Congress, the NDC party, won the elections. Mr. Speaker, winning Akwatia about 8 months in office signals the growing popularity of the NDC in government and general public positive rating of the government of the NDC under President John Dramani Mahama. Mr. Speaker, with these two elections and the one that took place in Ablekuma, this House is now fully constituted. The independent members of this House remain 4. The NPP, which previously had a micro minority of 88, has had its number shrink further to 87. Mr. Speaker, I believe they are no longer a micro minority, but a minuscule minority. Mr. Speaker, micro could actually be a large number because micro is a unit of measurement. 1 million can actually be micro when you are evaluating 1 billion. In English, when you want to describe something as very small, you say minuscule. The NDC supermajority will balloon to 185, and when we add our numbers to the 4 independents who have agreed to do business with us, the NDC will become a gargantuan majority. All I can say is, Mr. Speaker, so far, so excellent. During recess, MPs had the opportunity to observe the impact of work we did during our previous meetings, the budget we approved, the laws we passed, and the policies underpinning them. Our engagements revealed the persistent, urgent need to address youth unemployment. We must ensure that our laws and the policies that we enact create jobs. Ghana's population still remains very young. Citizens aged 15 to 35 make up over 38% of the population and 60% of the labor force. They face enormous barriers to economic inclusion. Indeed, they want jobs. In the 2024 Afrobarometer report of the CDD, concerns about unemployment was the topmost concern of most Ghanaians. This was followed by the management of the economy and then infrastructure. During this meeting of Parliament, members will focus on reviewing job creation policies of the various sectors. We propose to hold a special parliamentary hearing on the extractive industries with a view to exploring the impact on beneficial national economic development, overall benefit to the country, and in particular, the extent to which local content legislation are being enforced to create jobs for Ghanaians and ownership of the extractive industries. Every sector of our economy has a job creation potential, and our debates and deliberations in this meeting will focus on how this Parliament would hold sector heads accountable for ensuring that jobs are indeed created to the benefit of the Ghanaian youth. In this regard, most committees will be requested to conduct hearings on the extent of job creation policies and programs of the various sectors so we can enhance efforts towards job creation. Indeed, during the recess, we had the opportunity for committees to engage in field visits and engage with interest groups and governmental agencies, and we observed firsthand the impacts of the financial budget and economic policies and legislation we passed in the previous meetings of Parliament. Right, Honorable Speaker, I am proud to say that so far, so excellent. The energy sector is doing very well, and electricity has remained on and powering growth. So far, so excellent. The economy is rebounding, and Ghana once again is gaining economic respectability globally. So far, so excellent. The Ghana cedi is gaining strength and stabilizing. So far, so excellent. Inflation has come down to single digit, and prices are coming down, and life is becoming affordable to the ordinary Ghanaian. So far, so excellent. We are paying our debts, and at the same time, we are not accumulating needless debts. So far, so excellent. We are spending on the right things, and within our means, we are spending, but spending wisely. So far, so excellent. Our schools are functioning well, and free HSS is well funded, and we have not experienced any disruption of the school year calendar in our constituencies during our recess. Let me repeat, our schools are functioning well, And free SHS is well funded. And we have not experienced any disruption of schools or school calendar in our constituencies. So far, so excellent. Mr. Speaker, the NHIA has paid a total of 2.84 billion Ghana cedis in claims to accredited healthcare providers across the country. This represents the most consistent payment trend since the scheme's inception. The NDC are the best implementers of social intervention schemes. As I address you, there are no arrears outstanding. Claim payments are now up to date, with reimbursements made monthly. A marked improvement from previous years when payments delayed for several months. This improvement has restored confidence among healthcare providers, stabilized service delivery, and enhanced the scheme's credibility across all regions. Additionally, the uncapping of the NHIL by His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama has released an additional 3.4 billion Ghana cedis to the NHIA, marking a historic fiscal breakthrough that secures sustainable funding for timely claims payment, expansion of coverage, and implementation of flagship reforms such as free primary health care and Mahama Cares. So far, so excellent. Mr. Speaker, the health insurance scheme is on track to reach an unprecedented 20 million active members by end of year 2025. So far, so excellent. Our hospitals and health facilities are being well funded. And Mr. Speaker, I can only say good things will happen to this country. Our metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies are very well financially lubricated, with prompt transfers of 80% of the common fund allocations. Total disbursement for the first quarter of 2025 was 711,334,852 Ghana cedis and 56 pesos. That's the first quarter. Second quarter 2025 disbursement was also completed on 21st August 2025, and this was 1,318,484,908 Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, these disbursements are boosting local economies, as procurements which must be done at that level are being done to create local jobs and opportunities. So far, so excellent. Many progressive initiatives we approved in this House in the last meetings have been launched on course. Notably, the big push in road infrastructure is on course. So far, so excellent. Mr. Speaker, Info Analytics did some polls released on July 1st, 2025, and they revealed that 70% of Ghanaians believe the country is on the right track. 70% of Ghanaians believe the country is on the right track. So far, so excellent. As of September 2025, Global Info Analytics Survey found 58% believed the government was doing enough to fight against corruption, and 53% said corruption had improved. So far, so excellent. A similar report of Info Analytics in 2024 revealed that 65% of Ghanaians believe that the country was heading in a wrong direction. There is a clear turnaround in how Ghanaians perceive their country and their government now. We must stay the course in this direction, and the work of this meeting of Parliament must keep the pressure on our executive arm of government to keep delivering. In this regard, I want to assure Ghanaians that the overwhelming NDC majority will not treat our counterparts in the executive with kid gloves. We will continue to demand performance and delivery of promises made in our manifesto. Bipartisanship shall be our hallmark, so we will tolerate our minuscule minority and heed sound and genuine criticism. Mr. Speaker, this is a budget meeting. We will be receiving the 2026 budget statement in due course, but the signs of a very positive development are already clear. 95% of Ghanaians in a survey conducted by professional service firm PwC in July 2025 believe the country's macroeconomic performance in the first half of the year has met or exceeded expectations. 95% of Ghanaians believe that our macroeconomic performance, yes, our macroeconomic performance has met or exceeded expectations. Indeed, even members of the MPP cannot deny the fact that the indicators are looking very, very good. So far, so excellent. Mr. Speaker, we in the NDC are governing well. The president of Imani, Franklin Kujo, on July 5th, 2025, strongly endorsed President John Dramani Maham's recent decision to scrap fuel allowances and allocations for all political appointees, describing it as a wonderful initiative. So many wonderful initiatives that should be codified into law to prevent future reversals. So far, so excellent. On October 10th, 2025, the IMF stated that Ghana's economy is rebounding faster than anticipated, with macroeconomic stabilization taking root, following a strong performance in the first half of 2025, underpinned by strong services activity, agricultural output, and others. So far, so excellent. The IMF has also lauded Ghana on recent stabilization of the cedi, noting that the development signals improvement in the country's economic fundamentals, renewed policy credibility, and investor confidence. So far, so excellent. On May 7, 2025, Bloomberg rated the Ghana cedi as the best performing currency in the second quarter. Bloomberg rated the Ghana cedi as the best performing currency in the second quarter. So far, so excellent. The positive endorsement of policies and programs this House approved keep coming locally and internationally. During a high-level meeting in Washington, D.C., the African Development Bank President, Dr. Sidi Ulta, described the Gold Board under the new President John Dramani Mahama-led administration as a timely innovation that aligns with the African Development Bank's efforts to promote responsible resource management and fiscal sustainability. So far, so excellent. The economist, chartered accountant, and banker, Dr. Akwesi Ajiman, in his mid-year economic review of 2025, stated that Ghana's political reset in 2025 has coincided with an unmistakable economic rebound. Inflation is easing, the Ghana cedi has steadied, business activity is picking up, and this grants the new administration its first real chance to rewrite the country's stop-start growth story. Mr. Speaker, to cap it all, Mr. Speaker, we are going to the World Cup in America. So far, so excellent. So much has been achieved so far within a short time, but a lot remains to be done. We are not out of the woods yet, and many things must change. Recently, we placed senior high school students. The lobby to get into grade A schools reveals a malaise that must be fixed in our educational sector. There must be no grade A school and no grade B schools. We spend equally on all teachers in all schools. We in this parliament must do whatever it takes to fix all schools and demand equal performance. We pay equally to all schools. This House must begin to demand accountability and the greatest standards of performance from all our services: education service, health service, judicial service, and all the public services of Ghana. Reforming attitudes there must engage our attention. The reset agenda must permeate our public services. Mr. Speaker, the story of Ghana is now being told in a positive light on all international platforms. The reset agenda of President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC party is on course. This House will sustain the agenda in this meeting. We will demand accountability for past acts of corruption and abuse of power and gross mismanagement of the economy. We will demand the full implementation of the report of Operation Recover or Loot. Right, Honourable Speaker, my team has engaged the various sector ministers with a view to understand the weight of government business to be brought before us during this meeting. If they all receive the expected cabinet approvals, we could have a heavy legislative program in addition to the usual very involving consideration of the national budget. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Health has planned to seek approval for some legislation, including regulations, the National Health Insurance Regulations, National Vaccine Institute Regulation, Ghana Medical Trust Fund Regulation, Allied Health Professional Council Regulations, and others. The Ministry of Education will seek the passage of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, change of university names. Mr. Speaker, there's been a cabinet directive to change the names of all the universities that were changed to individuals back to the names that they were given. A bill will be brought to this House to change and reverse all the changes of the names of the universities. Mr. Speaker, the ministry will also seek this House approval for the passage of the Ghana Book Development Council Bill, the University of Engineering and Agricultural Science Bonsu Bill, College of Education Amendment Bill, Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply Chain Bill, the National Teaching Council Regulations, National Council for Curriculum and Assessment Regulations, National Schools Inspectorate Authority Regulations, Ghana Tertiary Education Commission Regulations, and others. The Ministry of Transport will seek passage of the Road Traffic Amendment Bill, the Road Traffic Amendment Regulations, Road Traffic Amendment, Ghana Shippers Authority Regulations, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority Bill, ratification of the African Road Safety Charter, and others. The Minister of Interior will seek the expeditious passage of the Security Intelligence Agencies Bill, the Immigration Service Amendment Regulations, Prison Service Parole Regulations, and the Gaming Regulations, Diaspora Birthright Certificate Bill, Community Service Bill, and the Extradition Bill. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources will want us to ratify a number of mining leases. These will include the ratification of mining leases in respect of Pesos Mining Ghana Limited, Clean Jobs Ghana Limited, TMC Limited, GM Group of Companies Limited, Golden Star Wasa Limited, Zagog Gold Limited, Gadriato Group of Companies Limited, Maripoma Mining Services Limited, and Bari DV Ghana Limited. They also program to bring before us the Wildlife Resource Management Regulations 2025. Right, Honourable Speaker, let me at this juncture mention that whilst we were away on recess, the issue of illegal mining, referred to as Galamsey, became very topical. His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama spoke to the nation in a media interaction and outlined progress made so far for the multiple approaches of government to deal with this matter. During this meeting, this House will build the needed collaboration and coalition of MPs to join the fight against Galamsey. After all, it is happening in our various constituencies and by our various constituents. We perhaps hold the key to solving this problem. In this regard, we will demand full accountability of the Minerals Commission and the Environmental Protection Agencies in the way mining prospecting licenses are awarded and leases issued and the environmental implications thereof. Right, Honourable Speaker, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has some international agreements which we will be called upon to consider for ratification. Some are the visa waiver agreements between the government of the Republic of Ghana and the Republic of Algeria, Republic of Angola, and the Republic of Serbia. Headquarters agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana and Afrobarometer, and the presidential initiative to offer 1,000 tertiary scholarships to ECOWAS citizens. Waiver of import duties and other taxes on vehicles for foreign service officers and analogous appointees, establishment and implementation of Ghana Diaspora Bond Program, and membership in the Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa alliance. That's the BRICS alliance. Let me mention that the issue of the need for parliamentary ratification of the agreement with the United States to receive ECOWAS citizens being repatriated back to the sub-region has been widely debated. If the appropriate legal advice to this House is that we should ratify it, we will consider so. But I can say with authority that the majority approves of the arrangement and highly commends government for negotiating the removal of the U.S. visa restrictions on Ghanaians. Given our business and social ties with America, these restrictions were going to be extremely burdensome to many Ghanaian businesses and families. The Ministry of Land, Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs will seek the passage of the Local Governance Amendment Bill, Coastal Development Authority Repeal Bill, Middle Belt Development Authority Repeal Bill, and the program that the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition include the ratification and passage of National Petroleum Authority Bill, ratification of petroleum agreements in respect of Block GHB 01 involving the Government of Ghana, GNPC, GNPC Exploco, and TriStar Upstream Oil and Gas Limited. They will also seek the passage of the Nuclear Power Corporation Bill and then the Renewable Energy Authority Bill and the establishment of the Ghana Energy Regulatory Commission. They will also seek the passage of the West African Gas Pipeline Amendment Regulations. The Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection will seek the passage of the Affirmative Action Gender Equity Regulations 2025 and the Social Protection Regulations. The Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice has a tall legislative program. They include the passage of the Tribunals Bill, the Legal Education Reform Bill, the Conduct of Public Officers Bill, Economic and Organized Crime Amendment Bill, Ghana Intellectual Property Office Bill, Interstate Succession Bill, Legal Profession Bill, Notaries Public Amendment Bill, State Property and Contracts Amendment Bill, Court of Appeal Rules, Economic and Organized Crime Office Operations Regulations, Economic and Organized Crime Office Terms and Conditions of Service Regulations, High Court Civil Procedure Amendment Rules, Interpretation Regulations, Legal Aid Commission Regulations, and others. Minister of Sports and Recreation will bring the following for consideration: the Sports Fund Bill, Sports Fund Regulations, National Sports College Bill, Anti-Doping Regulations, and others. The Ministry of Defense plans to have us consider the National Defense University Bill and the Defense Industrial Development Corporation Bill. I cannot list entirely the legislative program. It promises to be weighty. I therefore urge colleagues to dedicate time and energy to the task ahead of us in this meeting. But I must mention that once again, we will have an opportunity to vet a nomination to the position of Chief Justice of Ghana. It shall definitely be a momentous occasion. Need I say that the nominee should prepare to earn the approval of this House. Right Honourable Speaker, to ensure greater efficiency, I have engaged with colleague leadership of the minuscule minority, and we have agreed that this meeting will always schedule government business before personal business. That way we will ensure that MPs come on time, we transact government business first, and then afterwards we move to individual statements, MPs, questions to ministers. We believe that this will even be convenient for MPs given the fact that we now have our own television channel and enjoy live coverage. This parliament has many new members. I urge you not to stop learning. Please sit in the House and observe and learn. Build your capacity to participate effectively, and do participate effectively. You can only learn by practice. Right Honourable Speaker, as usual, we count on your continued guidance. You know it all, and under your guidance, we cannot go astray. Let me congratulate you for Ghana's parliament once again being adjudged the most open parliament in Africa by the Africa Open Parliament Index. This is the second time our parliament has won this coveted award, having won it in 2022. All this bears testimony to your remarkable leadership, Mr. Speaker, and foresight in managing this noble institution. Congratulations, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I welcome you back to this House for the third meeting of the first session of the ninth Parliament. May the Almighty God direct our every step, and may the work we will do together in this meeting make Ghana great and strong. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, I'm sure you have observed a facelift in the chamber that you are now occupying. You can see there's a facelift. And I want to thank the clerk and our supporting staff for implementing this decision of the board. And you have also observed that just behind me, our traditional attire, our own hand-woven cloths, are distinguished, and you can see there have been also a renewal of those majestic cloths. I think you have read that I led a delegation, including the second Deputy Speaker and some members of staff, to at least share our condolences with the King of Ashanti, Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, for the loss of our mother, the Queen Mother. You have read that we did make a request because this was the gracious presentation of His Majesty the King, when the Parliament started in January 1993. They had lost some favor, and so we appealed to him if he could graciously come and renew them, and he immediately accepted and directed that it be done. The next day, to our surprise, the team was down here in Accra, and you can see a complete, fresh renewal of those majestic cultural display of our talents. I want to take this opportunity to appreciate the efforts and the gracious support of His Excellency Otumfuo Osei II. He has done tremendously well, and he will continue to be the father of all. And we know his passion in multi-party democracy. He has been a guide to all of us, particularly somebody like me as a speaker of the 8th and the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana. Honorable members, I want just to draw your attention to the names and meaning of what you have behind me. I myself is very challenged, and so if my pronunciation offends your ears, kindly forgive me, because I'm of a different ethnic group. But these kente cloths are of two types. One is called Ejunsi Ejunso. Ejunsi Ejunso is a type of high-quality, hand-woven Ghanaian kente cloth that translates to designs upon designs, or wisdom upon wisdom. The second is called Fatia Fata Nkrumah. That definitely is clear to all of you, even including me. It's a Ghanaian Kente cloth pattern whose name translates to Fatia is a fitting wife for Nkrumah. In fact, those of us who are old enough used to hear it. It was created to honor the marriage of Ghana's first president. In fact, we should always start by saying first Prime Minister and first President, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and his Egyptian wife, Fatia Nkrumah. And this symbolizes the unity of Africa and the Arab world. In fact, that was one of the visible steps that Nkrumah took to try to unite the states in Africa by personally moving beyond the shores of Ghana to marry from Egypt. Honorable members, I think you will assist me, as I said, to thank His Royal Majesty for his gracious support to the House. I will, on your behalf, send a fitting thank you message to His Excellency. But let me add that the second Deputy Speaker has been so helpful in these matters. In fact, he has led me a number of times to pay homage to His Excellency, the King of Asante. And we've always had very fruitful discussions, and it's always been a source of strength and wisdom to some of us. Please kindly accept my thanks, my colleague, good brother, second Deputy Speaker, for what you are doing to us. With this, I want to invite the first Deputy Speaker to take the chair whilst I prepare for another assignment this evening. In the meantime, we move on to the next item. Which is the routine business of correction of votes and proceedings and official report. Honorable members, we'll start with the votes and proceedings of Friday, 1st August 2025. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, First Deputy Speaker to take the chair.
Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8. Page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Page 13. Page 14. Page 15. Page 16. Page 17. Page 18. Page 19. Page 20. Yes, Honorable Kingsley Nyako.
Mr. Speaker, I stood up when I got to page 16. Page 16, opening. Roman numerals II and III. I would like you to check Achim. I think it's supposed to be AKIM. So let us cross check and get the right name. II and III. Achim West is West Akim, AKIM, and III2 should be AKIM. Thank you.
Very well, thank you very much. Table office, check the spelling, whether it is Achim or Akim.
And also, Mr. Speaker, with respect, on page number 19, under 1 opening, the committee met on Wednesday, 25th July 2025 at 2:15 a.m. I think it's supposed to be p.m., not a.m. Thank you.
Very well. Table office, take note. Page 21. Page 22. Page 23. Page 24. Page 25. Page 26. (27) Yes.
Mr. Speaker, on page 27, Roman numeral VI, Mr. Christian Adepoku, the Registrar of the National Teaching Council, is a doctor. This is a minor correction. He is Dr. Christian Adepoku, not Mr.
Very well.
Thank you.
Table office, take note. Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kwadaso. Page 28. (29) and 30. Honourable members, subject to the corrections, the vote and proceedings of Friday, 1st August 2025 is hereby adopted as the true records of proceedings. Honourable members, official reports. Honourable members, we have 2 official reports. Official reports of 28th July 2025 and 29th July 2025. Honourable members, let's consider 28th July first. It is for your corrections. Honourable members, in the absence of any correction, the official reports of 28th July 2025 is hereby adopted as the true record of proceedings. Now, official reports of 29th July 2025 under correction. Yes, Honourable Member for Quadraso.
Mr. Speaker, on column 17, the second paragraph, last sentence, is about the name of Mohammed Polo. There is something manner, Mohammed Polo. Mohammed is spelled M-O-H-A-M-E-D. I think it should be double M. So if table office can check, and if it is double M, then they make the necessary changes. Then you come to column 179 under Reverend John Timfordjo. There's an omission. If you look at the fourth line, that this House approves the media review the budget. The omission of has to be inserted so that it reads that this House approves the media review of the budget statement and the economic policy of the government of Ghana. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. Table office, kindly take note. Honourable members, in the absence of any further correction, the official reports of 29 July 2025 is hereby adopted as the true record of proceedings. Honourable members, we move to item numbered 8. Business statement for the first week. Chairman of the Business Committee and the Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Your committee met yesterday, Monday, 20th October 2025, and arranged business of the House for the first week ending Friday, 24th October 2025. The Speaker, committee accordingly submits its report as follows. Formal arrangement of business includes formal communications by the Speaker. So you may read any available communication to the House. Pursuant to Order 91-2, Ministers of State may be permitted to make statements on government policy. You may also admit statements by honourable members in accordance with Order 93. Mr. Speaker, in accordance with Order 159, bills may be presented to the House for first reading. However, those of urgent nature may be taken through the various stages in a day in accordance with Order 160. Pursuant to Order 97, papers may be laid during the week, and reports from committees may also be presented to the House for consideration. Mr. Speaker, motions may be debated and there are consequential resolutions, if any, taken during the week. Mr. Speaker, the Business Committee takes the opportunity to welcome all honourable members back from the recess. The third meeting is expected to be demanding of honourable members in view of the fact that a significant part of the meeting will be devoted to the consideration of the budget statement and economic policy of government for 2026, together with the budget estimates of the ministries, departments, and agencies. The House would also consider other business requiring the considerations of Parliament, including financial bills before adjournment sine die for the yielditude. Honourable members are therefore entreated to brace themselves up for the task ahead. Mr. Speaker, the Business Committee discussed the issue of the time for the commencement of sitting of the House. And the Business Committee takes notice that the introduction of the commencement of sittings at 2 p.m. with the aim of improving members' participation in the conduct of parliamentary business has not been very successful, and we must all admit this. Additionally, commencing sitting at 2 p.m. mostly resulted in the late adjournment of the House. The attention of the Business Committee has been drawn to the health and security risks this poses to honorable members, staff, and visitors of the House, including students who commute long distance to observe proceedings. In view of this, the Business Committee proposes that the House reverts to commencing sittings at 10 a.m., subject to review when needed. Mr. Speaker, in accordance with Order 2162 and subject to Order 67, the committee submits to the House the order in which the business of the House shall be taken during the week. Thank you.
Honourable members, business statement duly presented by the chairman of the business committee and the leader of the House. It is now for your comment. Yes, Honourable Kinsidi Nyako.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to